Everybody. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of BoomJamGaming with Vampyr. Yawning right now. God dang it. Anyway. I'm suddenly very out of it. Sorry, my mind went in like 5 directions at once. You all know the drill. Give me a moment to find my own thing. And, how is everyone doing today? Good, I hope. Ah, there I am. That was weird. I took in like a breath to yawn, and it like went in a weird way. That was super off. It was super odd. I took that one bit. Alright, here we are though. So yeah, I was playing Among Us. Oh hey, look,
it's alive. It's alive. And it needs a name. I shall call you Lisa.
That's so cute. He named his plant Lisa. On Life is Strange. I got a trophy for saving my plant. Okay, let's see if anyone needs my help. Oof. I'm sorry, my dude. I can give you a neat observation if you like. The other night when I was playing Among Us, I noticed something. I was on the main screen long enough for the music to play a little bit more. And it turns out that the music is this sort of ghostly, kind of haunting rendition, very briefly, of like Catch Me If You Can, you know? Which is fucking brilliant for that game. Which is why I looked up the Dead Space version of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star earlier. Because I was like... It reminded me of that, put me in that mood. But yeah. If you're on the main screen and you just let it alone long enough, it will play that. Oh, hello.
Sometimes you act like a real jerk, you know that?
Oh, come on, Ozzy, don't be like that.
What, like what? Like someone who felt betrayed by the man he loves? Did you ever even try to find me? Rescue me?
You know it's not like that. I wanted to.
I knew it.
I was so afraid to leave the hospital, not to be seen with you.
We survived this shit together. That's all that matters. I know you did your best.
I knew it. I knew these two were gay for each other. Woo!
Fuck the war, right? And fuck them all.
Fuck the war. Fuck them all.
Gasp. Those gentlemen are homosexuals. What a revelation.
Good evening.
Evening, Dr. Reed.
Yeah, let's pretend you weren't just,
Are you concerned about
making
the
out with your
conditions here in
boyfriend.
London?
No. Sick people. Men in arms.
Tell me about your true feelings for Newton.
I love him. I'm not ashamed to say it. He's the best thing that ever happened to me. I can't imagine life without him.
Why should you be ashamed?
I'm not, I said. But Newton sees it differently.
I admire your honesty. It takes courage to stand up to society. The world needs people like you to create change.
Courage is what we needed in the trenches, looking death in the face every day. I speak plain. I speak my mind.
Have you always been this straightforward?
All I know is, before you saved me by the sewer, my only regret was I wouldn't be able to hold or kiss Newton again. I love him, that's all.
Aw. Well, that's real sweet, like. Too bad I fucked up some of your hints.
Goodbye,
But it's all
Mr.
good.
Thatcher. Try to take care of yourself. Hello again, Mr. Blight.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. You doing your rounds as usual?
Are you
Of course I am. I'll be stuck here for as long as Oswald refuses to go to hospital. And, unfortunately, it seems the violence is rising.
What kind of violence?
I believe people have armed themselves and started to attack those that show signs of contagion.
How do you feel about Oswald Thatcher? You are more than friends, aren't you?
I love him. I love Oswald. We knew we wouldn't survive the war without each other. But I am terrified, Doctor.
What frightens you so much?
What if people find out? Oswald says I'm ashamed, but it ain't that. It's more, well, you know, never thought I'd love a man.
Enjoy your love. And enjoy life as long as you can, Mr. Blight. Don't let anyone tell you who you should love or how you should love them.
I appreciate your kind words, sir. But it ain't that easy. It's all so new to me.
Goodbye, Mr. Blight. Take care of yourself.
Who is that over here? Okay, that's Oswald. He got quite away from me.
Good evening.
Evening, Dr. Reed.
Newton is conflicted about his feelings towards you. Would you like to talk about it, Oswald?
It makes me sad and angry. It feels like the beautiful thing we have is somehow tainted. It hurts to see him so lost.
His love for you is genuine. I'm certain he wasn't lying to me when he expressed his feelings for you.
Newton still has to accept it, knowing he'll be seen as a queer, a fairy, less than a man in those simple-minded bigots' eyes. Though he's more of a man than they'll ever be, so fuck them all.
My man. You stand up for your boo, baby.
Goodbye, Mr. Thatcher. Try to take care of yourself.
This is the bridge I was aiming for. What am I doing? Hello.
Leeches, boss! Hey, leeches!
You know, I thought I had those guys for sure. You know, it says there are 7 comments, but I only see 4. Weird. Anyway, so for those of you just joining us, we found out that the 2 soldier guys are gay, which I kind of suspected. And also we had a fun little talk about the music in Among Us. If you stay on the main screen for long enough in Among Us and hear a little more of the music, eventually you hear a haunting, just a little thing, and it's clearly a slower, little bit creepier rendition of Catch Me If You Can. And it's pretty awesome. And it got me... Oof. You'll figure it out some way. Actually, you know what? It'd be better to take out one of the fire guys first.
Watch out! It's fast!
Well, it's not bad.
Best stay back, sir. Oi! You listening? An inch! An inch!
Level 30. Alright, listen, Lord Scrumpet. I did what I thought was right. $104 and a lead stick. 2 lead sticks.
No civilians allowed, sir. I said go back home. Steady, boys, we've got one of them.
Action economy.
We have to stop it!
There we go. Get fucked. Oh, a trash can. Very exciting. Who knows what aluminum I might find? It's always aluminum. I think the British call it aluminium. Okay, they let me walk right in. Aluminium. Aluminum. All aboard, across the engine.
So Prewen never left Doris's theater after they invaded. They must be holding Edgar here in their new headquarters.
I honestly thought they were going to burn the place down. Sappho. That's why Jones had a poster. Because we'd already discussed the idea that clearly she was the mom in the diary, was Miss Jones. The whole thing makes sense. But that explains why she had a... I thought it's because she was secretly gay. No. She has a daughter again.
It's on to us!
Oh, is it?
He's done for!
Probably would have done better if that was a flaming crossbow bolt. What's up, Matt? Dr. Swansea. See, now that guy knows how to fight. Flaming crossbow bolt, check. Ooh, new Doris Fletcher's diary. Soon I'll be on stage again, for my rehearsals are almost over. My minions are gathered around me, ready to follow my every command. Soon my audience will return, ready to applaud my art. The young, the gorgeous, my healthy audience. They'll return to their families, their beautiful houses, happy lives, delighted by my performance, shocked by my disguise, touched by my grace, my infectious legacy. They'll spread the disease one by one, and they'll turn, and I'll be their beloved queen again. And they'll never forget me, and I shall have my revenge on the dirty trick fate played on me. Someone sounds a little bitter. What's up, everybody? fucking faith-based bullshit. I've seen it humorously pointed out before, I think we all have, that anything that would kill a vampire would also kill anyone else, like a stake to the heart and chopping off the head and things like that. It's like, that would kill a normal person. It's like, yeah, but it's the only thing that'll kill them. Like, kill them. Just finished reading Doris Fletcher's journal, as painful and dreadful as it was. My God, the woman planned to see everyone in London inflicted by infecting all who would come to her next play. It helped me understand greatly what's going on. Doris Fletcher's real name was Doris Jones. She was the daughter of some Harriet Jones, who's been treated as a patient for a long time at the Pembroke Hospital. She clearly hated her mother, but used her fame and notoriety to see her while visiting the poor and sick in East End. I don't know exactly what happened then. This is how her mother infected her before returning to the theatre, and how she turned into that monstrosity that the leech known as Jonathan Reed finally defeated. The presence of the vampire in the same hospital where Harriet Jones was treated can't be a coincidence. I'm convinced he's deeply involved with the vampire plague going on in London right now. I'm also convinced Swansea is his accomplice, and that those two are planning something more terrifying than anything the Guard has ever faced. Maybe I should take some time to read the old books and manuscripts the Guard still possesses to get some answers. It may prove useful. In the meantime, I better send some patrols to investigate what is occurring at the Pembroke Hospital. Sure, blame the guy who destroyed the vampire on the vampire existing. It took me 2 days to pass the dusty registers of the books we keep in the vault. God, I hate losing time like this. The search did prove fruitful. For once, I found 2 pages that could be related to our present situation in a copy of William Marshall's memoirs. I took them with me to read more carefully. This creature Marshall says he fought in 1666. This disaster that aimed to destroy London. It's very similar to what happened with Doris Fletcher. Disease, infection, hate of the living, and desire to see the city ransacked. I have no doubt now that the bloody old leech of William Marshall is behind all this, and that it's back. This could be our greatest accomplishment if the Guard could at last find and destroy the old bastard. I believe that Marshall did in 1666 is exactly what Reed is now trying to do. Did the creature this disaster escape their will? Is it why Marshall destroyed him in 1666 and Reed did the same with Doris Fletcher before she became such a creature? I don't know, but those two are clearly working together, and Swansea is helping them. I'll immediately give orders to have him arrested and interrogated. As for Reed, I'll destroy the evil beast myself, and we'll deal with William Marshall, this disaster thing. Pre-win will prevail once more.
Doris Fletcher was about to become a disaster. I'm getting close to having all the evidence.
Presumptuous of you, my friend. Yeah, the garlic thing, depending on the lore. In this, it's clear that garlic doesn't do shit. Apparently fresh herbs might, but... yeah. That's what he's talking about. Somehow I'm responsible and totally created her, even though I'm the one who took initiative and destroyed her. Like, his logic is super twisted and warped. He just really wants to blame the vampire for it.
It's locked.
Doesn't matter that I'm the vampire fighting vampires. What matters is I'm a vampire.
I'll put an end to you!
No, you won't.
You're mine!
Delicious, delicious lunch. That's what you were, sir. Lunch. You had a single shilling. You were that tough and you had 1 shilling. You're also only worth like 5 experience points, so I mean, fuck you, right?
It's locked, all right.
Yeah, I get that it's locked. Break the fucking door down with your vampire strength, asshole.
I cannot enter.
No, you could enter. Choosing not to.
It's locked, all right.
Till further notice, the safe will be used to store sensitive evidences. Must always be locked if you're ready to access it. Find me on the last floor. The key to Bloody. Remember to bring it back to me when you're done. Rodney.
I should find the key to that.
Ooh, William Marshall's memoirs. Brother of the St. Paul Stole finally agreed to meet me in London. They proposed to meet me inside the new Cathedral of St. Paul. I like the wit and solemnity of these men. What a symbol, to choose the place where I defeated this disaster, but also the place where I fell. Agreed to their proposition. There, in the sacred silence of the church, under the eye of God, they respectfully listened to me. They acknowledged my victory against the evil creature, the Disastro, the Eater of Stars, who only wished to spread death and pestilence all around her. Since they acknowledged my will to save London in 1666, they heard my request. My burning desire to stop the blood of hate. Their primate promised to come back to me with an answer. Primate of St. Paul wrote back to me with just a name, the Tear of Angels. According to him, this ancient artifact could heal anything. Cleanse any blackened soul and purify my blood. Blessed be the Lord. It took me more than 100 years to find a cure for the blood of hate, but I may finally have found it. Soon the rage shall end. Soon I may repair the wrong I did and cleanse my failures. Now all I need to do is retrieve the necessary ingredients to create the artifact. Blood of the purest heart mixed with blood of a king. To find such rare ingredients is not what worries me most. Time is on my side. It's the last part that worries me. Pure essence of garlic. I'm afraid it'll literally hurt like hell when I drink the antidote, but it's the price to pay to cleanse my soul and correct my mistakes. I'm ready to endure this excruciating
Blood
pain.
of a pure heart, garlic, blood of a king. I don't understand. Perhaps this is what McCullum drank. I had better keep that in mind.
Yes, you had better keep that in mind. Alright, let's find Rodney, I guess. Wherever the fuck Rodney is. Maybe that's Rodney. Maybe that's Rodney. I know what they are for sure, though.
Remember your vows, friend.
Dead.
I'll be brothers. An end to you.
I have it. I can now open the box.
There we go. I knew one of them had to be Rodney. Sorry, Rodney. Your biggest crime was getting in my way. It's a nice theater, by the way. Like, as a theater kid, I'm liking it. The stage needs some dire repair, though. be a really nice place to perform once it's fixed.
It's locked, all right.
Right. Gotta get in the safe.
I really don't know if I should read this.
Oh, absolutely you should. You kidding me? Cards worry me, for they keep announcing the coming of an imprecise but terrible danger, distinct from this awful war. I better call back to the legates in London and tell them to observe and report any unusual events. Something's definitely going on. The cards keep hiding what is approaching. That can only mean something powerful is moving. Something so strong and potent the cards cannot reveal its nature. All the legates but one are back in London. His mission in Lhasa is too crucial to be aborted. The only noticeable event is the frequent meetings between Aloysius Dawson and the Ascalon Club. It's nothing to worry about for now. Terrible epidemic is upon us, and I don't like it at all. My legates have been sent back overseas to protect them from this disease, but also to find any clue about the origin of the plague. Not totally convinced this is all natural. In the past, we had many cases of vampire activity linked with sudden epidemics. We must remain vigilant. All over the world, hundreds of thousands dead, broken families, despair and affliction deeply rooted in our hearts. This epidemic is a curse. Reports from every country tell me this catastrophe has no boundaries, no limits. The good news is that the disease seems to have withdrawn. The bad news is the cards keep on foreseeing calamity. Cards were right from the beginning. Calamity is upon us. Best sign may be the return of the Guard of Priwen. Geoffrey McCallum himself is back in London. He's actively inquiring and recruiting members for a new campaign. Whatever I may think of McCallum's methods, I must admit, he has a good nose for danger. We must all stay alert. McCallum did not waste any time. At least 3 of his warhounds have been ordered to survey me. Same old hate, same old methods once again. They will inquire about all my moves, all my acquaintances, all my actions. I know they are convinced I am an immortal plotting against them, against humanity. Stupid hunters, I have no time for this. I may have my secrets, but I'm not conspiring. I'm not the conspiring foe they're after. But they are right about something. The cataclysm will not be avoided. For the second time since I am the Primate of St. Paul, I fear for the city. Skalds are invading London and the entire country. No, not invading. They are already here. They are among us, released by the flesh of many infected. Observers of the Brotherhood tell me that the foreign vampires are arriving from all over Europe, delighted to get their share of innocent suffering flesh. This country, as we know it, may be on the verge of oblivion. We still don't know what is maneuvering against us. The cards are still worrying me, as if the real danger was not revealed yet. I am convinced that the Guard of Priwen is about to launch a second great hunt. This is the only explanation to the patterns of activities deployed by McCallum. Control of strategic command posts all over the city, creation of many new weapons, robbery to quickly finance this expensive undertaking. I know my name will be on a list if they decide to hunt down all identified vampires in England, but I refuse to submit to this threat. A Priwen attack is imminent. Scouts and patrols are getting closer every night. I can't even blame them, for the situation is critical. A few reports even claim the horned vampire may be back. Oh, shit. But their blindness never ceases to astonish me. How can they keep considering me a foe? Have I not proved I am their ally? Have I not done all I can to protect mortals? This is my last entry in this journal. May God have mercy on our souls.
I can't believe it.
Can't believe what? I don't think that we learned anything unless he is in fact a vampire. Or, I guess, he knows about the horned vampire. I don't know. I feel like we didn't learn anything.
Edgar. Edgar, can you hear me?
Jonathan, is it really you?
Easy.
The hacksaw.
Easy. Save your strength. I'm getting you out of here.
I had an axe.
Don't try to spare me. As a physician, I know all too well when it's too late. Punctured lung, broken ribs, internal bleeding. An accurate diagnosis, wouldn't you say?
Edgar, what happened?
They wanted me to confess. Beat me black and blue.
Geoffrey McCallum ambushed me at the Pembroke Hospital. He was convinced you and I were responsible for the Skull epidemic.
I never imagined that self-righteous fanatic would dare to attack us in the open. What became of him?
To prove him wrong, I let him go.
Really? Are you sure that was the wisest course of action?
Time will tell. The most intriguing part of his accusation was that you and I were the pawns of some ancient vampire.
William Marshall. Yes, they tortured me to make me confess the same nonsense.
I think you're hiding something, Edgar.
What do you mean?
William Marshall, for example. You speak of him as if you know him. How is that?
Jonathan, I cannot say I'm ready for another round of questions.
Why would the Guard of Priwen believe you and I created the vampire epidemic?
Ooh.
Maybe due to our
Answers.
profession. Because I offered you shelter in my hospital.
What can you tell me about William Marshall?
Not much. History paints the story he was the greatest knight who ever lived. Amongst the immortals, he had a yet greater legend.
Well, tell me.
Why is the Guard of Priwen so obsessed with him?
He was the only ancient vampire to escape the first great hunt launched by the Guard of Priwen in 1854. They believe he's an evil creature plotting his return.
Is he the horned vampire?
Why would he deserve such a reputation?
I cannot say. The Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole has next to no intelligence on him. All I know is that he's supposed to be the oldest of all the British vampires.
While investigating the epidemic, I read some of McCullum's findings. I think you have some explaining to do.
I have nothing to hide, Jonathan. Nothing at all.
Do you know Doris Fletcher's real name?
No, I'm afraid not.
Her real name was Doris Jones. She was the daughter of Harriet Jones.
What do you want me to say, Jonathan?
The truth,
Do
man.
you remember when we suspected Sean Hampton of killing Harriet Jones?
Yes. The terrible episode that came as a shock to us all.
Harriet Jones faked her own death. When I found her in the sewers, she confessed she wanted everybody to pay for what happened to her.
That woman was extremely bitter, full of hatred and festering anger.
Doris Fletcher visited her mother at the Pembroke Hospital. That's how she first got infected.
I know nothing about that. Miss Fletcher once came to visit the sick. That is all I know.
No, Edgar, there is more. Doris Fletcher was Harriet Jones's daughter. They exhibited the same symptoms: blind hate and strong physical mutation.
What does this sad story have to do with us?
Do you know where we are? Doris Fletcher's theater. This is where that hateful creature plotted to spread the epidemic across London.
I only briefly met Miss Fletcher once when she visited the Pembroke Hospital. You say it was to see her mother. She seemed like such a sweet and graceful woman.
My point exactly. The disease turned her into a bitter soul, driven by vengeance just like her mother. A symptom of all the infected patients.
Certain diseases are known to produce similar effects. Rabies, for example. And rabies is not the devil at work.
Come on, Edgar. Don't you see the pattern here? The epidemic, the link between Doris and Harriet, the suspicion of McCullum?
How could I? I never saw Harriet Jones again after she fled the hospital.
Doris and Harriet shared more than a hidden family bond. They were the embodiment of the epidemic and are linked to the Pembroke Hospital. Come on, Edgar, this is no coincidence.
I swear I'm at a complete loss. All I did was administer vampire blood to cure old Harriet. There was no evil plan, no diabolical plot.
You idiot.
You did what?
I tested the regenerating and healing properties of vampire blood on Harriet Jones. My only intention was to find the cure for influenza, I swear.
Whose blood did you use? William Marshall's? Mine?
Lady Ashbury's. While transfusing her with human blood, humanely appeasing her hunger, I also kept samples of her blood for my research.
You used her blood on Harriet Jones? My God, Edgar, that's unethical. You betrayed 2 of your patients at the same time.
How dare you judge me? Must I name the alarming list of your victims?
We are both deceivers. But at least I know I'm a monster.
You have worked beside me. You saw what I'm doing at Pembroke Hospital. Jonathan, you know I'm not an evil soul. Just another victim of this tragedy.
I'm very tempted to make him a vampire. He is worth a lot of XP, but he's a good doctor. If I let him die, the hospital could suffer.
No, Edgar, you are not going to die. Unless you want to.
What do you mean?
I can save you, Edgar. I can turn your broken body into one like mine.
You truly would? After all I've done, after all that's been said, you would offer me this gift?
I have no way of knowing which punishment would be worse, Edgar. But it is not for me to decide. So?
Oh, please, Jonathan, please. I beg you. This is what I've always wanted. This is what I've always searched for.
Very well, then. Prepare to die and be reborn. To face an eternity of guilt.
I'm ready. Oh, indeed, I am ready.
I couldn't risk the pillar of the Pembroke Hospital community. I don't think he'll mutate. My blood is powerful and pure. But it's troubling to me that Lady Ashbury's blood is what caused the mutations. That would imply that her blood is also not super pure, or something else happened. It's possible that Harriet was already sick, and Lady Ashbury's blood made that worse. I don't want Ashbury to be the final enemy of this game. I really don't. Oh, she is an econ. Just like Lord Redgrave was also an econ. That wasn't the problem. It's that his lineage wasn't as ancient as he claimed it to be. She said she's been around for a long time, and I believe her. Redgrave has also been around for a long time. I'm sure we'll find out. I like Ashbury, though. I don't want her to be the bad guy. Yay! This calls for a celebration. I turned Swansea into a vampire. And Brendan got job. I am super happy. She'll make you a virtual cake.
I will return later. So Harriet Jones became the original carrier when Edgar gave her vampire blood. I must tell Elizabeth.
Medical hall, sir. Are you prepared?
Edgar will be freshly born when he gets out of that basement. I need to make sure that there's no one here to fuck with him. Do you think the horned vampire has the blood of kings? Do you think I do?
You! Get back in the grave!
Get back in the grave. Nice. Pop. Okay, so I'm at negative 505 experience points. Because it cost me so much to turn Swansea into a vampire. It was all I could do. I had to make sure the hospital would be okay. I think it was the best choice I could make. Yeah, Swansea was going to die otherwise. I'd have to be mesmerism level 20 to mesmerize Lady Ashbury, otherwise known as you are not allowed to mesmerize Lady Ashbury.
What good fortune brings you back to me, Jonathan? What is it, my dear?
I'm afraid it's bad news, Elizabeth. The worst, actually.
Please, speak up.
Edgar is no longer in McCullum's grasp. I resolved that matter.
Where is our good friend now? Is he well?
Of a sort. His injuries were mortal. I had no choice but to make him one of us. To save him. Or to punish him.
To punish him? I fail to understand. And what is the source of this cold tone in your voice?
Edgar Swansea was responsible for the Skull epidemic, Elizabeth. It was he who unleashed the deadly scourge upon London.
What? Are you certain? This is the most terrible accusation of all.
He confessed everything to me. He sought to cure the disease, to exploit vampire blood to stop the epidemic. But he unwittingly gave birth to a catastrophe.
All those poor victims. How could he do it? What happened?
Edgar gave no heed to ethics. His theory could have been proven to be correct, but he abused the confidence of his patients to test it.
I must say I'm shocked, Jonathan. Who would have thought it? And the poor patient. Let me guess. It was Harriet Jones, was it not?
Yes. That explains how Doris Fletcher was infected, and how she became an Icor. She secretly visited her mother at Pembroke.
Then we have no choice. We must act quickly, Jonathan. We must return to the sewers and put an end to the threat poor Harriet embodies.
I have one more matter to discuss with you. Harriet Jones was the primary case, but do you know what a healthy carrier is?
There is a tone in your voice that frightens me, Jonathan. What are you trying to say?
It was your blood Edgar used for his experiment on Harriet Jones.
What? No. No. This can't be. Oh.
Elizabeth, are you all right?
No, I have to go.
What do you mean?
Leave me alone. Save the city, Jonathan. Save what can be saved.
Elizabeth, I need answers. Why did your blood
Stay
cause
away
this?
from me. Please. I swear I never was your
Wait!
enemy.
No! Elizabeth!
Answers would have been nice. I believe you. I'm also in love with you. Like, you can tell me things. And I want to see the painting you made of me. Oh my god. Obtain a drop of William Marshall's blood from Lord Redgrave. Obtain a drop of King Arthur's blood from Joffrey McCallum. Search for the insulin in the old morgue of Pembroke Hospital. I'm a doctor. I can do this. Delicious medical science. I wonder what they do to keep the blood liquid. Excuse me. Airtight seal. Well, obviously, but I need her to know this isn't her fault. It just means she got sick because she was feeding on the dying. She didn't do this on purpose. She's a good person.
Now would be a good time to blend the recipe Marshall used when he fought the disaster. I think I know where to find what I need.
I really don't have time for you guys. Okay.
Stop right now!
I'm leaving you guys alone on purpose, because I don't have time for you. somewhere around here.
Whose blood could be purer than that of William Marshall? Lord Redgrave will have to spare me a drop.
Like, I remember where the fucking... Gotta blow my nose. Redgrave, I will destroy the entire Ascalon Club if it means getting that drop of blood. I don't even care. I don't care about you or your stupid club. I will fuck all of you up. So I'm stronger than all of you. So... Howdy, everybody. Guess who's back? Back again. Reed is back. Telephone. Now give me my shit. I need the blood sample and I need you to not be a dick about it. Okay.
I'm still persona non grata in the Ascalon Club. If I want to speak with Lord Redgrave,
Hey, guy. Way more difficult than you, my guy. Ain't about to get killed by my scrub. Oh, Redgrave. There you are, old chap. History and purpose of the Ascalon Club. The Ascalon Club is an association of gentlemen secretly aiming for the protection of the Crown's interests, founded in 1837 to honor and perpetuate the legacy of my maker, William Marshall, the first Earl of Pembroke and the true protector of England. All the members of the club must be of good extraction and flawless moral fiber. Since the club accepts mortal members who will be duly observed and valued as proper candidates for immortality, the goal of the club is to impose respectable traditions and behaviors amongst the good vampire society, but also to promote and expand the imperial hegemony of England. We are the true elite of British society. We are Ascalon, the holy lance held by St. George, protector of England. When the saints slew the dragon as lance bearers ourselves, we vow to defend the empire's interests. Cool.
Good evening, Lord Redgrave.
What are you doing here, traitor? I shall smite you for this audacity.
I'm not here to bicker, Lord Redgrave. I can put an end to this epidemic, but I need your assistance to do so.
Good. We've held out thus far, but the time has come to put an end to this crisis. Tell me, what do you need?
The blood of William Marshall.
The blood of William Marshall? Of my maker? Are you mad? His blood is the purest of all. My maker proffered it to me on the battlefield. I cannot hand it to you.
Stop this farce. Marshall never was your maker. I have no idea how you acquired his blood, but I need it now.
I see. Well, in that case, given the gravity of the situation, I suppose I can spare you a drop.
Thank you, my lord.
If you manage to save this city, you'll prove yourself a veritable servant of the Crown. So Godspeed, Dr. Reed. Our fate lies wholly in your hands.
Okay. That's one. Now I need some of King Arthur's blood. I don't know. Actually. It feels like we're nearing the end of the game, but that might not be the case. This is a very complex story so far. Excuse me. But if we develop an antidote correctly, I guess we test it on Harriet Jones. I feel like there were more hints that I could talk to people about. It feels so mundane right now when we're on the verge of a cure. Wait, actually, you know what? It might be a good idea to talk to What's-His-Fuck. Let him know that I read his stupid journal.
Whether you need to buy something or not.
Besides, it's not on the way. Oh, hello. Ow. Yeah, same.
Hello again, Carol. How are you?
My mother always told me that she had to protect me from the cruel world. Now I see what she meant. This is a harsh and violent world, Dr. Reed.
Yes, Carol. As you know all too well, it can be a violent
I don't know what you mean. And I prefer you call me Miss Price. I'm not a child anymore.
I suspect you've...
No, what happened to him?
Are you going to work in your mother's shop?
No. This place is filled with too many bad memories. Entering it or staying inside is an effort now.
What will you do then?
I don't know yet. I think I'll leave London. But since I inherited some money, maybe it's time for me to grow up and go.
How have your neighbors reacted to this tragedy?
Nobody came to the funeral. Everyone's afraid of death and contagion.
You were alone at your mother's funeral?
It wasn't really a funeral. Her body was thrown with other corpses in a freshly dug hole. And I dropped a rose onto her.
Do you remember now what your mother did to you, Carol? Do you realize how badly she treated you?
My mother was a sick person who was afraid to be alone. Her whole life, she looked at me like the embodiment of all her fears and failures.
Your mother was very sick, Miss Price. Her sadism towards you was only an expression of her mental disorder. She was a victim too.
Perhaps you're right. Perhaps my mother was a monster. Or a victim of some mental illness.
Yeah.
All I know is I can't imagine my life without her.
How do you really feel, Miss Price?
I feel like I'm on the edge of a cliff. Fear of being alone is pushing me toward the void. The weight of unanswered questions incites me to jump. I feel lucid.
Are you going to be all right without your mother here? Financially, I mean.
I have inherited all of my mother's money. She always told me how poor we would be if we stopped working. But as always, she took care of everything.
She lied to you then?
Maybe she did. But that was for my own good. My mother loved me, Dr. Reed. Her will testifies to that.
Fair enough, I guess.
Goodbye, Miss Price.
I don't think she hated you, that's for sure. She was just sick.
Dr. Reed.
Have you recently...
Come on. The most ruthless tycoon of England dies and gives his fortune to the poor. The man has been tricked. I suspect torture and murder here.
What are you in...
Well...
I was lucky.
Why do
I don't think... Is it true you were dropped in rank? Tell me about it.
Yes, it is. I made a terrible mistake. I deserved it. Sometimes I think I should have resigned.
So why are you still working here?
Because I'm a damn fine copper. I just don't want to have someone innocent hung again by mistake because of me.
The death penalty is not an efficient deterrent. I sometimes think it pushes criminals to more violence, since they know they have nothing to lose.
I agree. I'm convinced all civilized nations should abolish the death penalty. Maybe after the war, once that bloodshed is over, the survivors will change that.
Why do you think there shouldn't be a death penalty?
I believe no one should decide to take a man's life. Not a nation or a government.
Are you a pacifist, Inspector?
No, sir. But I believe in divine justice. Only God has the right to decide who will live and who must die.
Goodbye, Detective Inspector Albright.
Goodbye, Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm sure we'll talk again soon. The Spanish flu is not the only hidden killer around here.
I mean, the Spanish flu is indeed not the only hit killer around here. That much is true. He does look a little paler. But my eyes haven't changed color yet. So we must be okay.
Good evening, Jonathan Reed. Can I help you in any way?
Have you any news?
You unburdened his heart.
How do you measure the amount of...
I told you.
Is it possible?
A vampire's fate is much...
Tell me the truth, Usher. Are you a vampire?
By the stole, you really thought you could force Usher Talltree to yield to your little mind tricks like an oblivious mortal?
Why can't I force you to answer me then?
I'm the primate of St. Paul's Stole. It comes with certain advantages, like accessing the greatest library in the country and avoiding answering certain questions.
So, are you or are you not a vampire?
As a brilliant man once said, to be unambiguous could only be to one's own detriment.
I found your notebook. The one the guard of Prewan stole from you.
And you brought it back to me. That's excellent news, Jonathan. Were you able to keep yourself from reading it?
No.
Ah, the oldest temptation of all. If Pandora herself did not pass the test, I suppose I should not blame you for your curiosity.
So you're not angry with me?
Why should I be? To live is to make choices, Jonathan. And you made yours. Now give it to me, please.
Goodbye, sir. Until we meet again.
I rarely wander. Yet it amuses me to converse with your kind. Perhaps London will survive the epidemic, as I see terrible trials.
Okay, well, taking care of that.
Safe place. Right now, sir.
Well, I'm sorry about that. But hey, you have a job. That is to be celebrated.
Please, I don't have your money. Come on, Barry.
Well, I mean, it's almost last on my list. I'm not even sure it matters what order I do it in.
This is now my domain, young Ekon.
Ah. I'm assuming it would be if I had turned him into a vampire. Oof. But only for a couple months, right? And then after that you can work from home? Don't have time for these fights. Come on, boys and ghouls. How are you getting along? That's true. We'll find a way. We could start a GoFundMe for like a taxi fund or an Uber fund for you just until you get on your feet. Ow. Of course it's not a terrible idea. I'm full of great fucking ideas. I'm the best at ideas.
Get them weapons ready! We found one! Never forget me!
Like, all these fights just aren't worth it, because these dudes are only worth like 5 experience
blood
apiece.
of King Arthur, then I may have found another vital ingredient for my recipe.
Alright, McCallum, you bitch. Where are you? It's a relatively small area. Have that going for me.
Good evening, vampire hunter.
Are you here to end me, Leech? You'll find I will not be killed easily.
Not at all, McCullum. I am here because I need you.
Really? I'm intrigued. Speak up, then.
I need the blood of a king. The blood of Arthur. I'm certain you possess it, and I must have it.
The Guard's most sacred and precious relic. Why would you? You found Marshall's memoirs. I should have destroyed that book.
I need the antidote to save this city, McCullum.
It is within me to take your words as truth. I want to, but I must know more.
I'm a doctor.
What precisely are your plans?
I have found the carrier, McCullum. The infection's source. It may be science or some supernatural power that's responsible for all this. But I will harness either or both to end the epidemic.
A vampire doctor. My God, you're a terrifying creature. Jonathan Emmett Reed.
Do you not understand? We wanted the same thing from the outset. A means to end this vampire epidemic.
Not enemies. Maybe that is so. Take it then. I see no other hope for this city. If this is some trick, you will be damned, Dr. Reed.
Thank you. Can we speak more?
Indeed. Why not?
Why are you here?
The man who raised me after the brutal murder of my parents. He's buried here.
Were both your parents killed by vampires?
Yes. And yet worse. My father returned to Dublin a vampire and tore out my mother's throat.
And who was this man?
Carl Eldritch. One-time leader of Pre-Wing. He killed my father in front of me. Helped me hunt my brother Ain after teaching me how to kill leeches.
Oof.
What will the Guard of Pre-Wing do now? Will you stop the Great Hunt?
Yes. But we shall continue to protect innocents from beasts like you and your red-headed friend.
Like me?
I am indebted to you for sparing me at Pembroke. But this won't always be the case. I'm no coward like those St. Paul's Stoll brothers.
How long have you known Lady Ashbury? Where is she? And what will you do to her?
We saw you meeting her, so of course we investigated. But she is gone. Our scouts reported she has sold some paintings and departed for an unknown destination.
Adieu, vampire hunter.
Until we meet again, blood drinker.
I hate this graveyard. So confusing. Okay, now I just need the insulin. I'm unsure as to why I'd need insulin. I mean, it is a blood medication. Just because it told me I needed garlic. Insulin is not garlic. Nor is it garlic based.
This one's mine! Stupid beast!
Holy shit, guys. I don't even care about you right now.
Watch out, boys!
And thank you for the compliment. I'm just kind of... Ow, 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 ow.
Lord, give us strength!
I cannot use garlic, but there may be a substitute in the Pembroke Hospital drug storage.
Is this drug storage? I don't think this is drug storage. Friendo. It is? Okay, cool. No, I do pay attention, it's just sometimes I forget certain things. I'll lose focus on whatever. Okay, you didn't have to follow me in here. And because you did, you're gonna die now. I wouldn't say that your death's on my conscience, because this is 100% your fault.
Have no fear. Fear no evil. We do the Lord. Shit, that leech is fast.
There it is. Insulin. Much more efficient than garlic against blood poisoning and sepsis, and much less dangerous for me. Thank you, Dr. Polescu.
Fucking brilliant. Guys, we're gonna cure the plague. Maybe vampirism. Who knows? Need to talk to Dr. Swansea about how fucking dumb he is. I also need to see how he takes to being a vampire. It's true.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Look, there was no guarantee that he was the one who caused the plague. That's really not fair. Okay, Swansea's not back yet. That makes sense. Really wish there was fast travel.
The blend seems stable. Time to go and find Harriet in the sewers.
Guess, well... me. Anyway. Ooh, this music is cool. I'm so sure. I don't remember what decision that is, but I know that all actions have consequences. So... anyway. But that'll be for the next episode. I'll catch you all next time. Bye-bye. Oh, trash can. Okay, now. Bye-bye.